I just wanted to come on and show you how I did the beachy waves that I did the other day. So I left my hair wet last night, which I rarely ever do. I left it wet and I loosely braided it. So this is kind of what I'm left with, which is kind of a beachy wave on its own. But the hairdresser in me won't let me leave it like this. I need to touch it up just a little bit. So what we're going to do, first, you're going to do this all with your flat iron. They do sell deep wavers, crimpers, whatever you want to call them. But I'm just going to use my flat iron. I have almost bought a deep waver, I don't know how many times, and I just keep telling myself that I don't need the extra tool laying around. I already have 700 hair tools here that I don't use. Okay, so you need your flat iron. You need a heat spray. Don't use your flat iron without a heat spray, ever, especially to curl it. That's so much direct heat on your hair. So this one that I'm using here is the AG Firewall. It's an Argan Shine and flat iron spray. It is the best. It adds so much extra, I want to say like so much extra moisture, but that doesn't make sense. Because it has the argan oil in it, it just makes your hair so soft. So that's my heat spray that I'm using. You can use anything that you have, but that is my preferred one. We're going to use a texture spray. I don't even know if they make this anymore, but any texture spray. And I also have my Puff Me here, which I love this. If you can't find a texture spray, this is great. They do make a light version of this as well. So you can do this on clean hair, you can do it on dirty hair. Use some dry shampoo and away you go, because in my mind, the messier the better. We're not doing this to look put together and perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna stop rambling, and I already brushed out my hair, as you can tell. It's nice and fluffy. So all we're gonna do, and I'm doing this on my own hair so you can see how easy this is. I don't want anybody saying, you know, sometimes when I watch tutorials on people doing their hair a certain way, they're doing it on somebody else's head, and that just to me doesn't, it's no benefit for anybody who's watching this at home, because it's totally different doing it on somebody than it is on yourself. Okay. So I'm just going to do small sections. I just found a nice knot back here. So you can see I parted it off just below my occipital bone. So you're not going to go in front of the ear for this one. So I need to brush this out a little bit here. So just give me 1 second. Ouch. So you really can play with this depending on your hair. If you have less hair than I do, more hair than I do, your hair's longer than I do, obviously it'll be a little bit different for you, but it's basically just kind of the technique, because through it you'll see that I do some pieces a little bit different. So I'm going to take this, and if you are using the spray, if you get this spray, if you have it already, do not spray this near your roots, because of the argan oil. It will make your hair a little oily. So I literally just kind of mist it on the ends, and if I was just like quickly straightening my hair, I probably would just spray that all over and go, but because this is so much direct heat, I like to really make sure that I'm spraying it good. Okay, so I have my flat iron on 410. I never put my flat iron higher than 410 unless I have somebody with really wild hair. You don't need your flat iron really hot. So literally all I'm going to do is twist, 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 and then you can put your ends out if you want. So there it is there. And if one piece, like that's not my favorite, it's underneath, who cares, right? As long as it has somewhat of a bend to it, that's all that it matters, because you can see how frizzy this side looks, but this side looks neater. So if you even want to take like that, maybe that piece is a little thick, maybe that's why that piece wasn't as good. Take a smaller piece and do the different, there, that's better. The different, if you do each piece a little bit differently and take different sizes, that's going to help it stay messy. Do you know what I mean? So you can see this side is kind of, it's a little more clean than this side. My hair naturally wouldn't be this curly without me braiding it last night, but I just didn't want to leave it up to chance by leaving it wet without having a braid into it. It probably would have been one giant mat this morning. So, and you can do it totally different ways too. Like if you wanted to start out doing the top, like going down first, and then like you really can play with it. It's not meant to look perfect. So there's our bottom layer done. So when I'm dividing my hair, and I'm just going to do the top layer here, when I am dividing my hair, all I do to make sure that I get all of the hair is I just take my fingers down the back and divide it into two. So I know that all of that hair, there's no hair back there that's gonna be missed. So again, missed your ends. Probably should maybe just run that through with your fingers. So sometimes, like, some of this stuff in here isn't too bad. So I may just kind of do the ends. That looks pretty good, actually. So you don't need to do it all. If you get a little lost in it, you could actually take the sections that you already did and pin it back and put it behind your head if you want, but I don't really care if I hit those bottom sections again, so I'm just going to leave them. Yeah, look how cute that is. Easy. Easy peasy. The bigger pieces that you take, the less crap it will have in it. And I mean, really, it's pretty quick. It's not taking me too long to get through this. So like we said, this underneath stuff doesn't need to be perfect. You don't have to make sure that every piece is, you know, has the most curve to it. The top section is where it really, I mean, really, I probably could have just taken the ends of the underneath and left the top and just did the top sections. But for the purpose of this video, I did it all. And it really, like, it doesn't matter if I brush through it either. I guess I didn't brush this before. I brushed this out well before I started this. So we're going to start from the back. The top is kind of what matters the most, because that's what you see, obviously. I wore my hair like this when we did family pictures on the weekend, so I'm hoping that it turned out okay. I pulled my hair half back when I did it, so. I don't know, just sometimes when I curl it, I feel like the curl is just too perfect to kind of put together, and I'm not really looking for that, but I don't want my hair straight either. My hair has so much natural wave to it that when I straighten it, I feel like it's just curly again 5 minutes later. So the front is like your, you know, that's your big piece. So make sure you save that one for last. Look how cute that is. I hope that I have been in this frame the whole time, because I've been looking in the mirror, so hopefully I'm not blocking. So you can see at the front, I pulled it a little bit straighter at the front first. And then from there. So now that you're kind of done, you can go back and just grab little sections and kind of add a little more to it, which will just give it a little more body if you want. So see, like, even if you pulled it half back, super cute. So same thing on this side. Yeah, in 10 minutes, this is pretty good. I'm going to do this pretty fast. Again, like I said, if you pull a piece from underneath, it doesn't really matter. And I am pulling it a little bit. Like, I don't want it super, super waved. If you wanted it tighter, or if you had shorter hair, I wouldn't be pulling it, you know, I'd be doing more like this. I wouldn't be pulling it through quite as much. So you want to make sure you get a couple bends in each section. These are really cute with like just a couple little braids in it. Okay, so with this front piece, I have a cowlick right here in front, as you can see. Which drives me bananas, but it's fine. Such is life, especially because I didn't blow dry it last night. I just let it go on its own. And since going later, that was my deal with myself, was that unless I really had to, I wouldn't blow dry my hair. So, everything is waved to a point, so I'm just going to run my fingers through it a little bit. And if you're not happy with something, sometimes too, like some of these ends can get a little, just hit them again with your flat iron, just so it doesn't look too frizzy, I guess you could say. Because running your fingers through it like I just did, making a seam is, this is the piece that I always struggle with the most, so this is where I feel like I spend the most time trying to get a good enough bend in it. Yeah. Okay. That looks pretty good. And honestly, I'm putting more into this because I'm videotaping it than I probably would have if I was just styling my hair on a random day, because like I said, you want it messy. You don't want it to look super put together. So I'm going to start with my Puff Me spray. So this stuff is incredible. The only thing I will say about this is you don't really want to pack a whole bunch of this in your hair if you're hoping to get a couple days out of your wash, because it does make your hair feel a little bit gritty. But it's really good, like if you have clean hair and you just want to get a little body out of your hair, and you can even just puff a little bit through the ends. So I usually aim it towards the root, get some body in there. I can't handle flat hair, which is usually why I feel like I don't like it straight, because I like it for 5 minutes and then I touch it so much that it just feels dirty within like 10 minutes. There. Super cute. And I am a notorious tucker. And if you want, I mean with this you don't really need this, but if you have this, just hit the ends. And this smells so good. There. Super cute. Super messy. And if you wanted to pull it half back, you've got some wave in it without looking super done up. You can finish it with some Rock Canal hairspray if you want. As well. Here, why not talk about my favorite product? So that's it. Super quick, super easy. If you have any questions or if you're having problems, shoot me a message, let me know, and let me know what else you'd like to see me do. People tell me all the time that they'd like to see some more tips and tricks and stuff, but I don't really know what you specifically would like to see. So if there's something you're interested in, please let me know. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.